Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Anime Corner, where, no, this isn't the same episode uploaded twice, but we're here to talk about Girls Und Panzer, der Film. Uh, we'll get into that. I'm Slade. I butchered the intro, but here we are. This is how we're doing it. I'm Slade. Find me. Yeah, apparently. Find me everywhere. Slade Plays Games, except Instagram. That's Slade's Life. I'm joined by my two usual co-hosts, Jaka
Hiyo.
and Sky.
Hello.
And before we start talking about the movie, how are you two? Everybody good?
Bit tired for this afternoon, but getting through it.
Yeah, sleepy boys.
Yeah.
Every time we talk about Girls in Panzer, it's the Sleepy Podcast, is what happens.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Well, it's because we usually do it on like my first day off or my last day off. So it's either we're super tired from work or we're super tired from drinking alcohol.
Making the most of the weekend.
Hungover is what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Well, hungover means I've stopped drinking.
Fair enough. What's the Archer line? I'm afraid if I quit drinking, the accumulated hangover is going to catch up and kill me.
Reminds me of that Farmer Ted episode when Farmer Jack finally becomes sober. He's like, "Am I still on that fucking island?" He's been driven for like 50 years.
Oh my god.
Goodness.
But yeah, it's good. We actually just finished watching some anime before we got here because we wanted to wake up and eat something. We were watching. I'm so mad at it too. I Parry Everything on High Dive.
Yes.
It's taking the One Punch Man approach of nobody is ever going to know how powerful he is, and he is not going to know how powerful he is in comparison. I'm so mad.
This guy's got no like situational awareness to how strong he is. Like,
I've seen like a meme or like a thing from it where he's like, "Yeah, my fire's actually this big," and it's like twice the size that like some Grand Wizard ever made before.
it's just
I'm
one of
like,
those things.
lovely.
Where he spent his entire life training his one skill, basically he's got, which is parry.
Mhm.
He still doesn't think it's very good, but he can parry like 100 swords at once. And it's like, for the love of God, man, have some fucking self-respect.
I just need characters to tell him that like the things that he's doing aren't normal.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm so
the last
mad.
episode today's episode was pretty funny because Sky was losing their shit. Like, must have paused it a couple times just to go. I'm about to lose it. I'm losing it. I've lost it. I can't take it anymore. I'm not watching this anymore.
I'm so mad.
I don't blame you. The only thing I'm watching on High Dive right now is Dangers of My Heart Season 2. It's feel good rom-com.
Of course, as is your bread and butter.
It is the very stereotypical popular, tall, very pretty girl and emo loser get together.
Have you checked out the Russian one yet?
Yes, I've watched the first 2 episodes of that. And it's good. I do want to talk about a problem with anime going on in general, because of this one. It's what Ayla hides her feelings in Russian, and this is a trend. I don't know if you two have noticed, and I could think of like 4 or 5 animes off the top of my head. But at one point, the main boy character, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, in Ayla, his sister says the words, quote, "Incest is wincest." And I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with that.
No. No.
There's
like a whole like there's like a stepsister anime now. Like
Yeah. But she says the phrase, and I'm quoting here verbatim.
Oh my god.
You may have forgotten though. You talk about like 20 years ago, they went. Anime went a bit that route again. It's almost like every so often they go down that route.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people who got hired to make it got fired, and then they got rehired again. Started making it again. They're like, no, didn't fly that time. We'll come back in 20 years.
We'll try it again in 20 years. But there's that one. There's the My Dear Friend Nokatan.
I've been meaning to watch that one.
You need to. The blonde girl who's our main character. Her little sister is like Yandere levels of in love with her.
Oh dear lord.
And then you have like Oshinoko, which is technically an isekai in a weird way. But the 2 twins, they're kind of a thing for each other, and it's far too much. It seems to be happening too often, and I just want to say I'm not okay with it.
there was an isekai we were watching recently, wasn't it? That we oh, they were like part of the heroes party or something like
Mhm.
that,
I think
and
that's the
they
one
were
he's talking about. It's like the long haired one and the short hair. They merge into one form
yeah,
almost.
like a magical girl thing, and part of their transformation, they're twins, by the way. Part of their
Oh.
transformation sequence is them making out.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I don't think. I mean, obviously we can't say this for like 100% know it or not, but like when I was in Japan, this wasn't like a big thing. It wasn't like everyone was going around incesting each other. I don't know why this is a thing. Like, also, obviously, you can always touch on
Propaganda.
the
Yeah, exactly.
do, does anime support like underage girls? Because obviously a lot of them get older. They're 500 years old. They
Yeah.
just look like that kind of thing. And obviously in Western culture, we see it as like not as good.
Right.
But
Well, it's
even in
like
their culture, it's like they say, well, some of our older women and stuff actually do look because they're small, look height. It's supposed to
mhm.
be like a joke. But then we were talking about this last night. Actually, we were like, I would still rather the Japanese have this anime face on than World War II face on. So I'm glad
Yeah.
they're in this era of their life. Like, let's let them do what they need to do to survive. Because like, if we went back, like, hey, 40 years, 50 years, we would not like the face. Like the
uh,
mask they're wearing is a good mask. Let's keep
yeah.
this mask on.
All right. Anything else y'all been watching? Because, like I said, I've started first two episodes of Ayla. Got my dear friend Nokatan, which is just it is so much dumb fun. It is that anime is so dumb fun.
Well,
Nice.
we
We were wanting to catch up on My Hero Academia, but they've postponed this week's episode because of the Olympics.
That's
yeah,
It's
dumb.
like
because
gearing up for like really big fights. Like, come on, you're
Yeah.
getting really hyped for
anime
it, and
people are
this
really
past a week.
into and
Yeah.
all of anime people love the Olympics.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that's
they
the thing.
really
They
care.
go outside to do sports all the time. Like, jeez,
Hmm.
it's French as well. Who cares?
We're there to watch the Haikyuu team out there. We're rooting them on in the Olympics while they're
So,
playing basketball.
so to date
That
this episode, you may have heard that France high-speed rail got attacked
Yep.
with arson attacks. The first, I mean, I've not spoken to some of these people. I got texts from IRL friends going, "That wasn't you, was it?" And I was like, Jesus Christ, man. I'm not going over to France to start arson attacks. Like, I could see it happening, but Jesus.
so I know you don't like the French, but
we
I
we
mean,
all we all know you that well. We all do know you that well.
people I have not spoke to in years text me going, "Was that you?" I'm like, Jesus, like, what rep do I have? Like, no, we
uh,
have. I think the latest anime we tried to watch was that Parry one. I think there's a
okay.
couple. I mean, we're watching Failure Frame just to mock it because it's the weirdest fucking show.
it's so angsty, and the CG is so bad.
hmm
So
But I'm
bad.
just laughing at it. Like, I love how just like it's very in your face, like too edgy, too angsty, and it's trying way too hard, and I can't help but want to keep watching it and laugh at it. I can't
It's
take it
def-
seriously.
it's definitely not going to be remembered fondly as a top tier anime. It'll be remembered as that. Do you remember when mid animation they went to CG for no fucking reason? Yeah, I
Yep.
remember that anime. Yeah.
It's like during dialogue. It's so bad.
I
I
do
mean,
think y'all, and I know I've recommended this, but y'all, it's while you're on your high dive kick, Oshinoko. If you're not watching it at some point, you are missing out on the best show that's on high dive.
I have to
Okay.
put that into our list.
Yeah,
Yes.
it just I expect some DMs at the end of the first episode. That's the thing, and the first episode is
One
an
of
hour
those
and
ones.
it's an hour and a half, by the way.
Oh,
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a really long first episode. After that, it's like the regular 23 minutes like runtime for the rest of the season.
Here's a point. Would you rather watch like everyone always says like animes have too many movies. Say take One Piece for example. Like, there's a lot of
Yes.
movies that are just series, and people say that you miss a lot when you make a movie because
Yeah.
people skip the series. But let's be honest, there's a lot of filler in
hmm
TV. But watching this film, we realized it's what you're looking about. It's 2 hours long, so about 6 episodes.
Yep.
I would rather watch 3 films to watch an entire series.
I think.
Actually,
Well,
I could watch a film, take a break, watch a second film, and like watching 12 in a row. I always find like I binge it But if you took all the intros and outros out,
Right.
I would be rather happier if we didn't have to constantly watch the intro. And I know that they spend a lot of money and time and all this, but I don't care about intros and outros at
Has
all.
anyone done that for One Piece?
They should.
No, they
How
made
long's the movie?
films. They made films. So every time we get like 3 seasons ahead, I think they make a film based on the last season, and it is just cut episodes into one long. I think they reanimate sometimes, but they do like arc films, if you will.
Mm.
Right, and that's what I think we said it in the original episode of this for the 12 episodes. There is like a Girls and Panzer like quick watch essentially. It's like an hour and a half, and it gives you all 12 episodes like main information in a hour and a half. I don't want to say bite size because that is a long time, but in a good chunk.
No, I'd be happy if they didn't. They don't need to cut anything out. It's just like if you remove the intros and outros and just had it like fluid flow,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be way happier. I think.
Well,
The only
some
problem is I find with episodes is you can clearly tell when the the adverts hit.
Mhm.
Like,
Well, the other thing is some things you just need to have. I mean, some intros you just can't skip.
I
Some
don't know.
are some are
Yeah.
too.
think
Some...
They're speaking
Honestly,
of
Dave, I
features
just
that
skip
High
every
Dive doesn't
intro.
have still.
Yeah, yes. I was losing their mind at that.
I was so mad. We were watching I Parry Everything earlier, and I can't tell which episodes I've watched because it doesn't identify them.
Yeah,
The
it's high dive.
thing is though, if you watch when we watch an anime for the first time, especially for the recording, we always watch the intro and outro at least once.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Maybe it's because I come from the era of like dial-up internet. I want speed now. I just want to
Yep.
get through it as fast as possible. As in, like, I don't care about the intro or outro, even unless they've got bits of a show in it.
Yeah, like take JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which we talk about all the time. How the intros like slightly change as the show goes on.
Yeah, because that's like, at least it gives you something to look out for.
Mhm.
Like it keeps your focus on it.
But
Whilst
like
most
some,
of them are just here's a music video, and I'm like, I
yeah,
just
some just
care.
have like a banger intro though. Like Chainsaw Man comes to mind.
Well, the
Ooh,
music
just-
I usually
yeah.
just listen to on Spotify though, because
Yep.
if I'm going to hear a banger music, I don't need the visuals for it because I'm going to like the music anyway.
Because I mean that's what I have for Spotify. Like just my anime intro music playlist is just called the Hentai Jams, and
You've explained that to your fiance, right?
yeah. Well, I don't think she knows what hentai is, but
Ooh, that'll be a conversation. All right.
Homework folders and deleted.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about Girls Und Panzer, their film. The reason I was kind of talking to you too about this beforehand, we did make a mistake in our watch order. So before we watch this movie, we should have watched Girls Und Panzer. This is the real Anzio battle. That's where you actually get to know the Italian team, and that's why if you notice, the Italian team knows the Ori team.
I explained this
Yes.
to this guy during the thing. I went, we missed an over. We should have watched.
Yes. So if you, it's like 30 minutes quick OVA. It's funny. The Italian team is a bunch of doofuses and goobers, but they're hard to not love.
Would you say this film's a little racist to them?
It's racist to everybody. All right, if we're honest,
They go hard on the Italians.
They do go hard on the Italians, and I'm not sure why. If I'm honest,
Operation 3 Cheese Pizza.
Yeah, Operation 3 Cheese Pizza, Anchovy being the leader of the Italian army.
My gosh.
But yeah, but let's talk about it. So it came out in November 20th, 2015, and I'm just gonna read the plot straight from the wiki. In a friendly exhibition match, the Ori Girls Academy joins forces with the reckless Chiatan Gekuin, which is the definitely not Imperial Japan team, in a combined match against St. Gloriana's College and the Pravdas Girls High School. That's the British and the definitely not Soviet Russians. The match ends in favor of St. Gloriana and Pravda. The participating students spend some time in a very fan-servicey bath scene afterwards. And then upon return to the school, we found out the Ori students were lied to in our 12 episodes. They were big fib to by the Ministry of Education, so their school is shutting down despite them winning the tournament. And the only way for them to save their school is that they have to go play a college team who has much nicer tanks.
And more experience.
Brand new tanks, yeah.
Yeah. A lot more
God.
experience. They have better tanks. They have they have railway guns and a lot of other things that they probably should not be allowed to have in the tournament, but here we are. And you know what? Even on the rewatch of this movie, it's still fun. The music's good. There's like a lot of little hints of, as we talked about last time, different nationalities' themes and things like that prevailing through the show. We get a good good backstory, really, for Miho Nishizumi and how close she actually is to her sister, because that doesn't come across in the 12 episodes very well. They do spend a lot of time on that in the movie, which is fine. I have a very long list of voice cast here to talk to, because there's about 1 billion characters now at this point in
So
the
many.
movie. But I'm going to start with Sky. Did you have fun? Do you have...
It was really fun, though. Honestly, to start off with the intro, it's like the president of the what's it, the department, like the Ministry of Education. It's like he hates ORI for like no reason. It's like the major plot of the film is basically like, oh yeah, you didn't get it in writing, so we're gonna shut down your school anyway. Like,
Yeah.
what?
He's
Why
sitting
are
there,
you so mad?
he's doing like the whole sitting there like Neon Genesis, like behind the desk, like
Get in the tank, Shinji.
yeah, get in the tank, Miho. Get in the tank.
God. It's like that was like my major like gripe with the film.
Mhm.
It's just, why is the Minister of Education so against ORI High School existing? Is he's just trying to shut them down so hard?
Nice if he was gonna.
All right, welcome back, Craig. Welcome back.
But
I was on a tirade of some sort, and then
You were on a
something happened
tirade
to-
about the Ministry of School. Sorry for the weird cut there. Joey and Tim are recording 2 blokes from Blighty while we're recording this, and he meant to stop their recording, but he stopped ours instead.
We
Joey
see-
said,
see,
no more cartoons. No more.
Man, when Joey said he didn't like anime, he really meant it.
So you were on a tirade about the Ministry of Education hating Ori for whatever reason that he does. 'Cause
yeah,
it's not clear. It's really not.
like why are you gonna make like high school students fight against university students
Mhm.
for the sake of like I don't get it. And also why could you allow the rail cannon? Why? That would actually kill them. Like, I don't care what sort of protections or like carbon fiber like BS they've got inside their tanks. That will kill people. And I don't understand how any of the school kids like don't die. I it doesn't make any sense.
It is
Like-
it is specifically a Carl Garrett 040. I don't know
How
that
big-
off the top of my head. I have the
How big are those
Yeah.
shells? How big did they say they were?
Ooh.
80?
No, they're bigger than 80.
No,
Because they're
I'm pretty
larger
sure-
than the
isn't it 80 times the size of like their cannon or something?
yeah, because it's way
think-
larger than the Caro Veselate, the little tankette the Italians are in.
I think I wrote 600.
Yeah,
600 millimeter shells. Just massive explosions. Like,
it is.
how did
It
that?
is 600 millimeter.
How
We're
is no
talking
one
rearrange
dying?
the hillside shells, yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean rearrange? It's create a new hillside. Is what.
Well, it's actually create a flatland, is what it actually
Yeah,
does.
Yeah, it's terraforming in real time, is what that cannon is.
And like, he specifically allowed it. Like, they had discussions about it, and he allowed it in the fight. Like, how? Why? You're trying to kill these children.
Between it and the T-28 Super Heavy, that's the one that looks like a turtle. That has like the double set of tracks that shows up at the amusement park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're ever talking about an underdog team versus the favorite, this is it.
Yeah,
you're
right.
talking, they have everything that. I mean, they don't just have uniform tanks; they have upgraded tanks, everything, and
Mhm.
yeah, this man hates them. Like,
Yep.
clearly hates them for no
Oh.
reason.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true because, like, so the college team's tanks, and I guess we can get into your thoughts here in a minute. But it's basically comprised entirely of M26 American Pershings, M24 Chaffies. Those are the little fast ones. The college team has the regular tanks you see all everywhere. They're all M26 Pershings, and then there's one British Centurion Mark 1. That's the one that the I
Wham
forgot her
is-
name off the top of my head. That she's in, the girl with the silver hair.
Mm.
But Jacob, what are your thoughts on this movie? Were you cheering the whole time?
I mean, I like I say, Girls and Panzer. I'm gonna love it. It's tanks warfare again. Animation's clean. Loved it. Think it's fun.
Mhm.
I think it's a great addition to the series. Like, I think if you watch like the full series, then the overs, then this, I think it works really well.
I think so too. I think
The
so too.
the people in it, I love to see all the old teams again together. Like, I mean, the first exhibition match when we even introduced the new team, the was it the Imperial Japan team?
Yeah,
Charge!
all
The just the absolute insanity that they do every time. Just like, we have to charge. It's like, why? Like, you clearly know you're not going to survive.
yeah,
That's
He
what
has
lost the
done
first
it.
match.
yep. It's their
But
one
they,
and only tactic.
Yeah, apparently that I was looking into it. Apparently, these like back in the history of the world, they were actually a really good team once.
Mhm.
Like back in the time, because this tactic worked a lot, and this is why they still do it. But now they're considered like this know nothing team that are just there for fun.
Yep.
Like, but this team, like before tanks got evolved and tactics got evolved, this was the thing to do, was just to charge en masse and hope. But no, again, just fun. I mean, some great POV shots with the tanks.
Mhm.
CGI's like clean, works well with the animation. Some absolute ridiculous scenes as well. One of my favorite scenes in this anime comes up in this movie with some what I clearly made the best music.
It is. It is. I think it's just a fan favorite scene in general. It's my favorite scene as well. We're kind of dancing around it.
Yeah.
I know that we agree on it. Sky, is it also your favorite scene?
You're dancing around the subject, and I am completely lost.
Finnish team with the music being played on.
Yeah, the
when they're
Finnish
driving
team.
around in circles in the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Again, great use of music throughout the whole, and sound effects, like those shells hitting the ground from the car, like vibrating the camera and like echoing through it.
Watching with like some good headphones on a good copy of this is like, it's the sound design for the shots fired and explosions and the tank sounds just
Yeah.
top notch. Like, it feels like you're right there alongside it, and like it's a little scary. It's like really well done.
Even
sound
listening
design.
to like just the little sounds of the tank, like when you hear like the next shell going in and you hear like the action taking the round forward, or when one gets fired and you hear the shell coming back and the clattering of it inside. This obviously, it's a tank. It's all metal. All the sound is bouncing off of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And every
So
tank has its own like shell. Like, you can hear the difference between the tanks, and that's how they know as well. They're like, "Oh crap, that's a B2." They know the difference between them. But I love the use of the theme music for each team. Like when Pravda come over the hill, blazing the fucking Russian music, and it's like, yeah, the English team sitting in their tank drinking tea, and it's the English theme. I'm like, it's just, it's so stupid but so funny to me at the same time.
Like you were saying, like it feeds into like stereotypes really hard. I actually wrote down something that you said, hon. You said they make a mockery of the English.
Oh yeah, every
stupid
time,
sayings that they're like, as the English say.
None of these. The first line of the film is the English person looking at their tea leaf, going, "An English proverb says is the English," and this guy turns to me and goes, "Is that a proverb?" I'm like, never fucking heard that in my entire life. I just completely lie. Like, what the fuck? What, we use tea bags for starters. Like, we don't have tea leaves in our tea. And most people in England, we drink milky tea, not of this black tea shit.
It's like people who drink black coffee. They're just better than you, and they know it.
Well, I mean, we stole our tea from everyone else anyway.
That is fair. That is fair. I do want to talk about another favorite moment of mine from this from the movie, and for me, it's when the Ori girls, they know they're outnumbered, but they're still going to try, and then everybody else shows up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we did fill out the paperwork, and we're transfer students for just today."
Literally, all of their past rivals joined them in this fight. I love that so much.
It was
like even her sister.
30-8. That was what the president was going to allow. 30 tanks v 8.
Yep.
And he was happy. And don't forget, he had already verified as well that 2 of their tanks were going to be a rail cannon and a fucking giant ass tank. And that he was going to be happy with this. He was pissed off that they allowed the other teams to join. He hates this team. And it makes no sense. The only reason I think it is because they needed a fucking plot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's literally hate for the plot. But no, I do love the moment of everybody coming together to and honestly the school's shutting down. I know they spent a lot of time with the on that plot point where the girls are essentially just kind of hanging out with their tanks for like a good
period.
Yeah, for like a good 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, they're like mourning the loss of their school, mourning the loss of their tank club, mourning the loss of like not being able to hang out anymore.
Yeah.
Basically kicked out of the school to stay in like what was it, like a camp that used to be like an actual like on land school.
Yeah.
And Saunders saves all of their tanks and delivers them back. Like
Yeah,
that's a little nice moment.
It's a hype moment when Saunders shows up and they're like, "Don't worry, we got you. Don't just."
My favorite moments from that though, from the what we call the transition period when we're on the land, is the disciplinary girls stealing the fucking school sign.
Yes.
Like you don't even notice, but there's just a crowbar and it's missing, and in the next scene they're just holding it and it's like it's ours. And their downfall of just like they've lost their jobs doing like the morale committee, and they just become like the opposite of what they were. Like they're like in bed crying, like what's the point? I don't want
There's like a point with them where they're they're like, what is it? What do they call them? The hall monitors got into a fight with the local farmer today. You just like, what?
Yeah, they've lost their plot completely. But like each team has been doing stuff from the start of a transition. So like there's fishing people, the anime like tank girls have been like training like physically because they can't do anything.
They are so buff. They are so buff
so much. Like at the start of like their transition period, like they could do like a full 30 seconds of working out and they were just done. And later on in the film, they're just like single-handedly grabbing, just like one-handed, just grabbing shells, tossing it, catching it with one hand, and just
like
they got so buffed. Yeah, it's so cool. I love that. That's this little side plot. That's great.
There is the detail of them being so strong that I forgot her name, the one who's driving.
She
rips the handle off.
Too strong. They've gone too far.
Yeah.
But let's not forget also Sanders coming in clutch.
Yes.
Taking their tanks for them, flying off and waiting from wherever they need to drop them off. Like the Americans just like, we've got you. And they're like, but we can't just take our tents. And the council be like, don't worry, we filled out the form that says we lost them. And it's like, that's just it. You've lost your tanks somehow.
Yeah. Well, it makes
happened
sense.
Before.
I'm about to say it makes sense really when you think about it because it's not the first time they've all been lost.
It's the way they say it though. It's just like we lost them. And to be honest, the only reason, I mean, there's obviously a lot of plot points to how they win, and it's a lot of ridiculous things. But we all know the real reason they won this tank battle in the final against the University is the Boku character that happens to come in clutch and stop the shot. Because we see the Boku Museum in this, which is, you've seen little clips of it through the show. She's holding the bear characters who are all bandaged up.
Yeah. In the English dub, they call him Punchy.
Punchy, of course.
Punchy.
I thought, like, I'm pretty sure Sky had the same. It's like, why are they covered in bandages? Maybe it's just like, that's what she does or something. But no, this is a whole side story of like, this is
in universe.
The universe.
Yeah, they've got like a museum dedicated to this character from like a TV show because like he's just a bear that gets beat up but still gets back up again, and he keeps at it.
Yeah, and Miho loses her shit. Like she stops the full take. It was like, there's a Punchy museum. We're going to it. This is another 10 minutes of the film. And as you get there, you meet like this really random girl, Alice. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Shimada. Shimada. I think I'm saying that right.
Mm-hmm.
So you meet her, and it's like, I wonder if this person will be important or not.
It turns out she's the commander of the university team.
Yeah, who can like 360 no scope at Centurion, which no sense whatsoever. But
she's a prodigy.
Is it cool to fucking watch?
Yes.
There's some weird things in this, like, because obviously, the student council leader
Mhm.
of their team has to now convince the guy who hates them
Yep.
that what he did was underhanded and to give him a second shot. And he's like, well, the only way I would ever accept this possibility of opening your school again is if you beat the university all stars team. It's like,
Who beat the adult
what?
team?
We're just like, yeah, but
Yeah.
what? Like,
Yeah.
why is that the only way you? We were the winners of the
I
last ceiling.
I love like, okay, if I got to go through the corporate paperwork bullshit, I'm gonna go dot my T's and or cross my T's and dot my I's.
Uh-huh.
And the student council president goes against like the people in charge of all of it. Like, oh, you
Yeah.
can't just do this to the tournament winners. How does that look
Miho's
for the
mom.
public? Yeah.
Miho's mom stands up for her.
Mm-hmm.
She goes about it by saying, "You can't shut down the school because it means we can't beat them next year."
Yeah.
It was pure out of spite, not to help her. It was like we're going to beat them again.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like
this
we're
is also the two different schools, isn't it? Because you've got
Mm-hmm.
Miho's mom's teachings and
you mean the
Alice's
definitely
mom's.
not Germans. You mean the
The
definitely
well, the German, the style they call it, their last name, I forget how to say it. But then you've also got
Nishizumi.
Shimada's. They're
Yeah.
also a tankery school of teaching that style. So there's 2
Mhm.
different styles here fighting,
Mhm.
and I think that's quite entertaining because you've got like they're the national winners, the Germans are, but then these are the all-star winners. So it's like, oh, who's
Yep.
better in this? Like,
Mhm.
then obviously Miho is completely different style. It's her own style. So you got 3 different styles coming in, which I
And
think this teaches very well because you see all the different schools trying to do their own
right.
thing and Miho trying to help everyone. And then they're just like, everyone do your own thing. You know what you're doing. Go
Play,
kill.
play to your strengths.
80
Charge.
strength. Yeah, charging people. You got the Germans doing what they do well. You got the Russians. So let's be honest. Katuska in this takes some heavy hits.
Oh,
Like, I honestly,
Katusha. Oh,
It's such an
she
emotional
was
bit.
hell.
Like they're
It
actually
is.
dying being taken out. They're not though. And it's like the whatever reason they put all the lolly girls inside the IS2.
KV2.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
giant.
the one with the giant turret that if it's like sideways it falls over. Like they have all them and they're like struggling to reload the 2-piece ammunition. And they're like, go Katusha. And then like
It's like, we'll defend you. We can be a shield.
The self-sacrificing scenes of the Russian team. Oh my gosh, they're like speaking in Russian, and she's like, "Speak Japanese, dang it!" What? Meanwhile, they're just being like, "Yeah, we're gonna sacrifice ourselves so that Katusha can keep going."
Yep.
Just it's so heartfelt.
And there's
That's
like
so good.
I forgot what her name is, but there's like one scene where one of the girls, she like finally speaks Japanese or English, depending on which dub you're watching.
Mhm.
And Katusha's like, "You can speak this?" And she's like, "Of course I could." And then just gets taken out. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, she could
Okay.
speak Japanese all this entire time. It's like, why? But this match obviously is not a flag match, which is what we're used to. It's an annihilation battle, which means every tank has to die.
Mhm.
And like you were saying earlier, when all the teams show up, they're trying to make it 30v30, and the Imperial Japanese bring 22 tanks.
Yeah, they
'Cause that's
they
what
just
she
brought
thought she had to do.
they brought everybody.
They're like, we're here, and it's like you only needed to bring 6. Oh, damn it! Everyone else go stand over there and wait for orders. Like, you wait for orders. You're not going to join this. Plus, the Finnish team came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like
Just
they were never involved. It seems like they were just like, they asked us, so we joined, for fun kind of thing.
And it's just that lovely BT-42 tank, which we need to go back to that scene, and it's the taking out of the Karl Gret, the railgun, the 040. That
It's
scene
such a
and
good
the
scene.
strategy. Let's talk about just the strat before we get into what the Finnish team was doing and that wackiness. Let's talk about the wackiness of taking out the railgun.
Let's be honest, they've done this before where a smaller tank gets on a medium tank and they use this as like a elevation. They've done this lots of times in the anime, but they've never done throw the tank before. This is the Gimli maneuver.
Yeah.
Throw me at the enemy.
So they
Don't tell the elf.
They throw the Cargo Volus, which is the like little Italian tankette, which it should only have 2 people in there. That's why they're complaining the whole time about 3 being in it.
Oh, the ponytails being in the way.
Yeah. It's only meant for 2, and you got 3 people wedged in.
The picture of all the tanks and all the girls standing together, like each different school, and you see how big the tanks are, and then you see the tanker is this tiny 1/4 of any other size tank. And
But
it's like this is a scouting tank, is what this is.
Yeah, but they like throw it off the back of another tank. It lands upside down. They convince the Italian team with pizza or pasta or something.
Yeah,
something
or
with
spaghetti.
Yeah,
This is one of them.
Yeah. And they gun it, and they essentially throw the Stug 3 in the air to fire a round down the barrel of the railgun to take it out.
That's
Now it's not necessarily
insane.
how it happens. So one of the tanks goes upside down. They turn their tracks up to like maximum while the tank is upside down, and then it has to ram that tank
it has to
using the tracks to get extra forward momentum to fly into the air.
But let's be honest,
It's so cool.
an amazing scene and so beautiful. But the only reason they could do any of that maneuver is because the Finnish team comes in clutch and takes on 3 tanks.
Yeah, the Finnish team is taking on 3 Pershings by themselves in their BT, just having the greatest time listening.
So cool.
They're just listening to sick beats and just going after it.
Like even after they lose their treads, they're just going for it.
Yeah,
we've got 3 times that this tank still keeps going. You've got the first time they get hit, and they take 1 tank out using the smoke screen maneuver. They take the other 2 tanks. They go under a bridge that explodes, and they take out 1 tank. And then the last tank's chasing them. They're going backwards faster than they can go forwards.
Yep.
They lose one of their, they lose their tracks, and they're like, haha, you're beaten. And then they go into off-road mode. She even takes out a wheel and shoves it in. And even the university team is like, what? And they're driving still quickly. Like, Wesley shouts, don't underestimate our suspension.
Yeah.
Driving around like crazy. I'm like, this is my favorite scene. The music matches this so well.
So they've lost their tracks, and then
they get hit on the left side. They lose half of their tracks completely. It's gone. And they lean on 1 set of wheels, drive, and still manage to take out the last tank by basically suiciding them. This is the most insane fight I think that they've done in this series. There's some insane things, but this tank survives way too much.
Yeah.
And the Finnish team aren't even well known. They just showed up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we'll help out. Yeah, sure.
Yep. And the other thing is that Mika, who's like the commander for the Finnish team, she's just vibing on her instrument the whole time. Even when the tank's riding, on 2 wheels. She's just like, take the shot, like 1 big strum, and that's like the last shot to take out the Pershing. And it's just like,
she didn't help out at all. She plays music. She didn't actually help anyone load. The driver was also loading.
Yeah, she brings the vibes. All right, that's important.
She brings the vibes.
She brings the vibes.
But there is some great scenes in this, because they're not just her fight, like the Finnish team. It goes over. It's almost like an hour long. The fight. The battle is almost an hour long.
It's over half the film.
Yeah.
The starting like Sorte, where it's on the hill, and obviously the university teams let them do it again because they're like, yeah, take the hill. We know it's a trap. We know it's a trap. But obviously Miho's in her let's appease everyone type mode where we should take the hill. It's clearly the advantage point. Even though she thinks it's a trap, she doesn't listen to herself. And as Sky always says, no one ever fucking listens to Miho. Like, every time. Just every time they lose, it's because someone's not listening to them.
Yep.
But then, what's one of my Carl Garat, isn't it? That's the one that you were talking about, the big tank.
I was gonna say about the BT though. So a lot of people are like, "What is this?" And this is a real world fact. The BT-42 tank, the Finnish one, can't actually go without its treads. It doesn't need them. It's designed to be able to drive on its road wheels, which is wild. That really works though. And
so it's not as a far-fetched idea as I was thinking. Okay.
The guy who did obviously we talked about him in the other episode. The guy who did
Mhm.
all the tank information history was like a World War II buff of like
Yeah.
tanks and planes. So everything that they show in the show is maybe not with the drifting as much, but like everything is
Maybe
pretty much how they do it.
maybe not with the drifting, correct, but
Yeah, the drifting gets a little bit out insane.
yeah, especially with some of the British tanks going on. That Crusader should not be sliding around and making jumps like that
Yeah,
whatsoever, but it does.
but I mean, we get to end in what we call probably the best fight place, a fucking theme park,
Yeah.
a tank
That's
theme park.
so cool. I loved everything about the theme park fight.
So
First I want to talk about is the Ferris wheel.
yes, I was going to bring up. So Casey and I watched this together. I made her watch it with me, which there's going to be a thing after this episode that you can listen to where she gives her opinion on something like this. She also said I'm the worst
Yeah.
person. She said I'm the worst person to watch this movie with because I'm giving history lessons while we're watching the film.
So Lord of the
But-
Rings with Skylar.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't mean to, but here we are. But there's a bit in and it really makes me laugh, but there's a Thomas the Tank Engine like in the theme park. It is literally just
It's
like
a tank. Well,
it's a tank, but it's like just Thomas, and that always makes me giggle. It's like a 3 second like bit that you'll see, never get mentioned, no one brings it up, no one acknowledges it. But the fight in the amusement park is so good, and there's so much like planning that you don't realize that the Ori girls did. Like the whole they were leading them down like the movie sets or whatever that are in the theme park. Like they're in the Wild Wild West, and they're like
the Wild Wild West with the
Yeah.
music going.
The music change is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're like following them down here, and they have like the little stug or whatever disguised as like the end of it, but it's really just like
Yeah.
3 panels or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ninja girls constantly putting up artwork
Yep.
and hiding behind. But we're forgetting about the Imperial Japanese using the duck tactic.
Yeah.
Because the duck heads, where
duck
they got
heads.
these balloons from would beyond me, but hiding
Just,
in
like,
the
hiding
water
in-
with a giant
hiding in a
boat
wa-
on there.
duck pond. Yeah.
They're like hiding against the little ducks, and you hear people like, I can't breathe with this thing on. I'm like, what do you? There's other vent holes. They're not just in the turret. What do you mean?
I mean, thing is, these tanks, these tiny Chiha tanks that they're using aren't very good. They can barely get kills. They have to get super close, which is genius to them because there's only one way across this river, which is
Yeah.
the bridge, and they're all like hiding, like perfectly waiting. And every time they like miss a shot, they're like, "Get the hell out of here!" Like, and then you see all these boats just disappear. You're like, they were hiding, like they did the Jack Sparrow maneuver.
Yeah, they're just running away. Fire the one shot, we get out of there quickly. But no, the Ferris wheel, we do need to talk about the giant Ferris wheel in the room.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I
like
saw
they're
that
in like an
coming a mile away.
amphitheater and completely surrounded.
Yeah.
And get some support from I forget who it
rabbit
was.
team.
The rabbit.
It's the freshman team, yeah.
The
Yeah.
freshman team got the idea of seeing the Ferris wheel on the hill and unleashing it.
Like, the thing is, the irony is not just sending a Ferris wheel at their enemy, but also their allies. This was a we'll see what happens plan. Like, 'cause it goes straight at them, and everyone
think-
looks at it. But you see that the team who realize that this is helping them, but they're shooting the Ferris wheel to make it go at the enemy.
Yep.
Which is
Keeping
a
the
genius
momentum.
little.
Oh, it's
Like,
great.
no one talks and says to do this. They start shooting it with their machine guns
Yep.
and using it. And my favorite bit is when it's rolling next to them, and it's like an extra tank, and they're like, "Thanks, Mr. Ferris wheel." like, it's just so stupid.
The part of that, there's this dumb section with that as well, where like, so the freshmen like shoot the Ferris wheel, it comes out, and they're like, oh no, that's coming towards us, and then they drive in a straight line, like in the line of the Ferris wheel, and all I'm thinking is turn right, turn left, get out of the way.
What do they call it? The Prometheus running away from things school.
Yeah. Yeah. There's also the bit with one of the freshman girls, and it's such a dumb joke that runs through the whole thing. And you see this in the exhibition match in the beginning of the movie, where it's that what is that? It's not Elite, it's a Grant. It's their tank up against like one of the Russian ones, and one of the girls who never says anything. They're like, oh god, she's gonna speak, she's gonna say something, and then she's just like, butterfly.
Yeah, that
And
made me
if
laugh out loud.
And whenever you look like at the freshman team when they're showing him, she's still just staring at that butterfly.
Well, that's
Oh, that's right. And she's the one that pointed out the
yeah,
Ferris
Ferris
wheel.
wheel. Yeah,
we don't
and
have
everybody
time
was
for the butterfly. Like, but no, we got some great scenes in this because it's not just obviously the rabbit team pulling out the crazy things. We've got the sneaky team doing the artwork to hide their tank. You've got the English team hiding under the bridge to take out
Yep.
the T-28.
I also like right before all these people get like taken out, they're saying like goodbye, we're done for. Like they're actually about
Yeah.
to die.
Right?
They're yeah.
But they're not.
No. They're fine. But each speech is like that though.
Oh,
You
it
also have
is.
the Italian team again in the little tankette
the
on the
infinite
roller
loop.
coaster.
The reconnaissance on the roller coaster. I love that so much.
It's when the Bermuda teams, that's the three commanders of the university team, they've got the triangle, diamond, and square on their tanks. They're like, how are they doing this? This isn't just intuition. And then they look up and she's standing on it with binoculars, like, oh shit. Like they've spotted us.
Yeah, they
And
said
then
like
there's the chase scene on the roller coaster. It's so ridiculous.
It's exactly what you want from it. They do a point of view roller coaster with a tank being chased by another tank that is so big it's not even using its tracks. It's just sliding on it we're so stupid but so fun. Like it's actually going through the tunnel and everything. But that other tank should have lost momentum at some point. Like
and
going
like
up
just
and
been
down.
stuck because the Italian tank's small enough to be actually like on the rails of the roller coaster, rolling around. It is.
Using
And
its
then
treads to
what
get
was
around,
that
yeah.
scene? It's when after they kill, because they kill one of the tanks that's chasing them, and then the rabbit team shoots the other tank that appears in front of it. But then they're stuck on the thing, and even Sky pointed out, I was like, wait, we go back. Because the tank shows up, and the Italian team goes, taxi, and another tank shows up and use it to get off the roller coaster. And Sky maybe go back, it's like, did she just yell for taxi? It was such a crazy scene. And I do love, we do need to mention, there's other vehicles we saw in this that weren't obviously tanks, but the spotter planes for the battle. Everyone who was sitting, like, watching were in, like, a different type of vehicle. They used a lot of other military vehicles in this show.
Yeah, there's a lot of equipment that's, like, historically accurate as well. Like, so at the end of the movie, when they're, like, you know, the judges who were up there, they have that big, like, metal plate on them. That was for, like, the German, like, high military police people wore those things to show, like, their significance and honor. Yeah, and that's what the referees are wearing.
Yeah, the helicopter that her mom flew in. Was like an old Japanese model. For some reason, the Germans had it. I was so confused. But I think it was because the instructor showed up in that one specific.
Yeah.
But like the giant American plane as well that took the tanks is actually a tank deployment vehicle. It's just everything in this is so fun and quick. Like you said, like the Thomas the Tank Engine thing, you would not spot it unless you've watched it multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a silly joke.
And Miho visited her childhood room. There was an Did you say it was like an RPG wrapped in a bow, just sitting in the corner?
Yeah.
So we've noticed this in a couple different scenes that weaponry, like shells or like bullets, have got bows on them, and they're just leaning on, like almost like trophies, like you know, like first place, second place. But hers is a Panzerfaust rocket for the Panzerfaust, just sitting on the wall, and I was like, wait, go back. It's like, that's a Panzerfaust.
Just wrapped in a bow in the corner next to her laundry.
You can't have that in your room. Her room was full of that punchy bear, though.
That's the same as I'm losing it right now because what's her name? Our favorite character, the greatest floof of all time, for the.
You talking about the tankery girl?
Yes. What is her name? Real quick, Yukari. If you ever look in her room, like when they show it, when they're all there to watch the films, it's nothing but like war movie like stuff and war video games like everywhere.
Sadly, no. We didn't see much tankery shops in this one, like the anime. Like we didn't get to see any like little tanks showing up with little cakes on them.
No, but there was the guy who was like, "Oh, you're so lucky your shop got destroyed again. Why is it always you?" Because he's getting like a brand new like shop or whatever out of it.
That guy constantly gets his place destroyed, man.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, there was they blew up like a hospital or something.
Oh,
The
I think that
KV-2
was
blew up a
actually.
hospital.
Yeah.
I think that was actually the aquarium because the penguins were in it. Do you remember? And we
Mhm,
were like, why are there a
mhm.
bunch of penguins just walking around now? Because I thought it was a hospital, but when you look at it again, it is the aquarium. Because I looked
Yeah.
it up,
That
I was
one.
like, why are there penguins coming out this door now? If that's a hospital, that's a weird ass fucking hospital if you think about
It's probably just the Neon Genesis Hospital, is what it is.
it. I get that.
Thank, thank
I
you.
get that joke.
That's a dumb little joke.
Sky's
Um,
looking confused as
oh,
fuck.
have you not watched Neon Genesis?
Not all of it. I started.
Okay,
It's
like
it's yeah.
it's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
the
but
penguin is weird.
we have to talk about the final fight, and
Well,
then
so
we'll
we've
get into
gone
what we didn't like
through.
after that.
So we've gone through the main sortie. We've
Mhm.
done the amusement park start and middle. Now to finish, they go through a couple of different areas, and we tanks are getting taken at left and right
Yep.
because the Japanese girls are doing quite well actually. They've taken out a fair few tanks and only lost a few, but then the commander comes in singing her little song of Punchy
Yeah.
and is so OP. Like, no tank stands a fucking chance because they're getting taken left and right. And then the Bermuda team, obviously, that's her commanders, are like almost morale goes up because she's in the battle, and
Right.
they are so in tune with each other. Like, I mean, Sky was saying, they're flying around. They take out the Sanders team quite easily. Like they're spinning around, like doing like almost perfect maneuvers, like a synchronized swimming team.
Yep.
hmm Like at one point, surrounding a single tank in like a perfect triangle
Triangle.
formation with all
Yeah.
three of
The
their turrets
Bermuda
pointing
tour,
at it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they're super good. But then obviously you've got Miho and her sister who take out a couple of them, and then we end up in the giant. What would you call this area? Almost like a because it's got a pirate ship in it. It's got a rocket in it. It's almost
It's
like
like
a child's
it,
playground.
it is
Like
like the child's play place in a amusement park is where this
yeah,
ends up, which
some
is
of the best uses of weaponry when it comes. I mean, the pirate ship being used as a battering ram.
yep.
I mean, the Alice shoots the rocket to fire that. And why does the rocket go off like it's an actual rocket? Like she shoots her gun into the back of it, but it seems to alight the real rocket at the other people,
Yeah.
which is insane when you think about it. Like, it's supposed to be a toy, like,
No, it was a real one on display.
but then you've got just like two. So it's 2v2, and they happen to take out the last commander, and now you've got two old tanks versus what you would call a newer tank.
Yeah, you have like a Tiger and a Panzer IV versus the Centurion Mark One, which is kind of funny because like the Centurions were made in like they're post World War II tanks, so they were made in like the mid-50s.
Mm.
So you have 10 years of development between like those two versus this one.
But again, a 2v1 is also hard. And these
Mhm.
aren't just like anyone. We're talking the sisters of the school that they're against. So this is two school trainings.
Yep.
It's actually three when you think about it, because Miho is different. But that
But
scene of just close-ups, I love the use of cameras in this. The
yeah,
animation's insane.
a lot of the times
Uh,
when the camera is just doing like flyby chases, like running behind the tanks while they're going, those are some of my
Mhm.
favorites. Where it's like somebody's got a 360 cam stuck to the back of their car. That's essentially what this
yeah,
camera angle
spinning around.
is. Yeah.
Which is crazy when you think about it, because you've got to take into fact placement, what's
And
going on, explosions.
and Alice could have won, but there was the
Oh,
little like motorized punchy
yeah,
that got in her way.
don't shoot Boku because she's actually scared. Like they both love this Punchy,
Yeah.
but if it obviously Deus Ex Machina,
Machina. Yeah.
like why did that appear? Because they accidentally knocked it. Alice knocked it with the rocket she fired. That set it off. So she actually caused her own loss,
Down.
really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But we're
A
not
little
forgetting that
distraction.
how they win the match, though, because
Yeah.
even if she had taken out the Panzer, she still would have had to take out um,
The tiger.
Tiger. But let's just think about, because you don't hear anything they're saying. This entire fight is just tank treads, shots. You don't hear any voices.
Just all action. And I
Yeah.
was gonna say that was my favorite part about this. It was
Yeah.
just the action and watching their coordination.
Like you
By
can see
far,
that
just taking out dialogue just added so much more to the fight.
Yeah,
Added tension.
allowing you to work out how they're working it out. I love that.
Mhm.
Letting
like
the user use the brain.
it kind of keeps you on your toes too. Like, what are they gonna do? Because there's no subtitle for whatever they're saying. You can tell that they're talking because they're like grabbing onto their throat mics to speak. But the music swelling, the like winds going, there's the shells going off everywhere. It's so good. And then to win.
Again, only something Miho could think of.
Yeah, they use the Tiger to push the Panzer IV, and then to give it extra speed, they basically
Blank at it.
yeah they fired
Point
a
blank
like at it to like shoot it extra fast, which like destroys it in the process. But as they're passing the Centurion, just nail the shot, nail it.
Just battering ram nailed the shot.
Yeah.
So basically, making the Panzer the shell.
Yeah.
And thing is, the only reason they win is because the Tiger's still alive.
Mhm.
We're just insane. Like, I mean, that's how they come up with it. Like when you see them talk to you, like, are you sure? Like, it's the only way we're gonna win. It's like, how? How is that the only way? How is this the only way you're going to win? Is to blank up the ass? That makes no sense. The amazing
subtitle of the episode: blank up the ass.
blank up the ass. But
No, jeez.
the end of it when everyone's like they won and they can't believe it, but the man who put it all together, the one who hates them, is purely angry that they've lost. Like he wanted them to lose from the beginning. I don't know why he hates the school so much, because he's not just shutting down a school, he's shutting down an entire life on this ship. Like, this isn't just one school, it's the size of a country. We're forgetting this. He's trying to everyone who lives on that ship, everyone who works on it, everyone who like import. We're talking it's a whole country he's trying to shut down. They don't really think about that. You think, oh, he's shutting down the school, but it's not. The school is the ship that's the size of a country. I mean, they live on it with their families and everything. Like, you can't just. I mean, it makes no sense. And I'd love to know more information about why he was so adamant about recycling this ship.
I would maybe there's just too many, because there are a shit ton of characters. There's a shit ton of schools. Maybe there's too many, and he's trying to like tidy up the budget or for whatever
The
reason.
thing is, they're kind of self-sufficient. The ships, like they have their own crews where they have a different school. Like in the OVAs, they talk about it's a Navy school. Like
I think they briefly touched on it in the original series that ORI, because there was no tankery courses that were offered through it anymore, that attendance had gone down and they were losing money by keeping it afloat.
Right.
That was the whole plot of the series. Like they started a tankery school, and then he's like, "Screw it, you're done anyway." Like, but why? I mean, honestly, it was just a plot for the movie. I think they just wanted to have all the old characters again, which I do love when you see them all again.
So to segue to the least favorite parts of the film, the main plot, honestly, the fact that the magister, the minister of education hated ORI so much, the plot, you know, the thing that sets up the plot, that was my least favorite, but the rest of the film is fantastic.
Jaka, do you have any least?
Just the plot. Well, not the plot, I should say. Just if they had just a little bit more explanation about why he hated it, maybe like a shady backstory of him like making a deal to shut them down or something.
Right.
Like maybe the Alice's mother paid him off to do it because she didn't like the fact that her younger daughter had her own style or something. Just something to give it a little bit more of a, oh, that makes sense. Like why he's doing it. Not just he's a bitter man.
Right.
Yeah. He's just a bitter old dickhead.
Yeah, but the actual show, the film itself, 2 hours, it flew by. Like I loved every scene in it.
Okay, so what I was talking about earlier before we started recording, my big problem with it, it's a few things. First of all, it's a little thing called the PlayStation 4 and its controller. So for whatever reason, I don't have so this is the only Blu-ray I own, by the way. It is Girls and Panzer, their film. It is the singular Blu-ray that I own. So what do? I grab the PS4 to watch a Blu-ray, right? Everybody's like, physical media is great. It makes everything easier. They are all big fucking liars, is what I'm going to say.
I mean, most people would put it in a Blu-ray player just for starters.
Well,
like you chose the PlayStation because that's what you had.
right.
You're setting yourself up to failure.
But hang on.
Sony did invent the Blu-ray technology, so
Right,
it would make sense that it would work on a PS4.
Thank you. So I plug the controller in. The controller will not hold a charge for anything. It won't, even with the cable plugged in. It will not charge. It refuses to charge. It refuses to stay powered on for more than 3 seconds. So
Did you
30
stick it to the console?
No, it won't stay powered on.
Hmm.
Even like plugged into the console and I checked the cable with other devices, charged those just fine. It was just the PS4 controller wouldn't charge. Digging around through menus for 30 minutes to activate the PS4 to let me use my phone for a remote so we could watch the movie. 30 minutes later, we finally got to watch the film. Now, here's the other thing. I've maybe watched this movie. That would be the 4th time, I've pulled out the Blu-ray to watch it. There was audio skipping issues. This is the 4th time I've ever watched it.
Now, wait, are you saying that your biggest problems with the movie that we just watched was the fact that you used a PS4 to watch it and it didn't work?
Yeah.
And audio skipping issues, which could have been caused by the fact that you were watching it on a PS4?
Yes.
So you got nothing wrong with the film itself. You just got wrong with the fact that you couldn't fucking work it.
So you're mad at your PlayStation then?
You're mad at yourself.
I'm mad about the accessibility to this film. I should be able to go to Amazon on Prime and just buy it, and then I can just watch it wherever I want to.
We could not find it anywhere to watch it except for one perfectly legitimate website.
Yeah, like it's not on High Dive where everything else Girls und Panzer is. Like all the DOS finals, they're there, but like for whatever reason, this movie and some of the OVAs, they're just hidden on the internet.
Yeah,
to go hunt down.
I know you could buy it. Like it was on Netflix for a little bit, which was weird. I remember that's where I watched it. I was like, oh, it's on Net. I'll give it a watch again. But I always have trouble when places like streaming services release something other than anime streaming services because they decide to cut things out or change the audio and stuff. And I'm like, I don't understand this. Why you've done it like this?
I did post it in the edit for when we watched the 12 episodes. The dubbed version of Yukari and what's her name from the History Club, like singing and how bad out of sync that it is, which it is fixed in like the movie rendition. But again, this is a digital streaming service. You could go touch that up. That would be appreciated by everybody.
Yeah,
I don't know what editor let that slide. I really don't.
Maybe it's like if they did it now, it's too like they're omitting it. Like now, it's just like no, it was always supposed to be. It's part of the law now.
It's meant to be terrible.
But no, so my biggest problem, the reason I go through all the how hard it was just to get to watch the film, that's my problem with it, is how hard it is to sort this out and get it, especially in an age where like, VPNs are using whatever, you should be able to go and grab what you want when you want to watch it. Like if this was on Amazon, I would have paid the $3 to rent it for the night and stream it. That's a no-brainer.
I would have done this digitally, just as easy access.
It's like trying to find the I would like to have the manga for this on the shelf, but like trying to find it is near impossible. Yeah.
Yeah. I went looking in 3 different stores in my hometown, which are all manga stores. I even asked them, I said, do you have anything Girls und Panzer? And they went, no. I was like, why? And they were like, it's just not popular anymore. I was like, but is that because you don't store it? And they gave me this look of, maybe. I was like, they're not popular because like, I forget what he's like, it's a film with Brendan Fraser, and he goes, maybe they're not popular because you don't play it anymore, you bozo. It's like, oh yeah. They're in the top 40 because you're playing the top 40.
But yeah, it's the inaccessibility and the hunting this down. That's the worst part of the whole movie.
Do you remember any bits in the movie itself, though, you think? Like, you wouldn't like? Like, did you not like the boat thing popping out?
I think they dragged on too long with Miho and her sister.
Oh, when they went home.
Yeah, when they went home and they're going through like their childhood growing up together. I think you could have cut down on that and then used it to explain why the Ministry hates Ori so much.
Yeah.
It would be good to know if that the Blu-ray you've got has anything like that in it, like any cut things.
I'll see if the PS4 wants to behave. And
You want to fight that again? You want to go through that nightmare?
yeah, so I had to get an app on my phone just to control the PS4.
The ending was pretty quick as well. That was one thing I
Mhm.
would like was hoping like maybe when they go through the credits, like they lingered on like scenes a bit. I was hoping they'd show a bit more of everything going on. Like the Finnish
Right.
team don't even say goodbye. They just sail off into the sunset. They
Yeah.
appear out of nowhere and they just go home. And it's like,
Yeah, they just skedaddled
hell was
off
that?
for
So
whatever
wait,
reason.
the Finnish team was just one tank?
Yeah. Yeah.
Showed up, said hi, destroyed a bunch of tanks, left. That was
I
it's,
kind of
the
love
Finnish
that.
team is insane. But of course, obviously, this is only the film. We still have so many more.
We do. And now that we have gotten through all of our points, let's go through some if we recommend this movie or not. Because I'm going to tell you right now, for me, it's a solid recommend. You should watch this. It's fun, it's energetic, and it keeps the whole pace and story up the whole time, which is just makes a great watch. Who would like to go next?
Sure. Yeah, I'll go. I do have some final thoughts I've written here. Fantastic scenery. Loved just the like the fields of grass, all of the way that they portray clouds. The animation is fantastic. Sound design for explosions. Um, the bullets, just everything is so well done. Again, I highly recommend watching this on a pair of like good headphones rather than
Mhm.
just a pair of speakers because you actually get a little bit of like spatial sound with it too. It's really well done. Voice acting is cute, fitting for the characters. No real complaints there. The music is silly, but it adds so much to the fun of the whole. Like it just adds more to the whole picture. And while the fights sometimes might not be realistic, the tactics are very out of the box, very fun. Um, so yeah, that's all I got. My biggest gripe is just how the plot was set up, but the rest of it's fantastic. I recommend it.
Yes, straight up recommend. If you like the series, if you I don't think even if you haven't watched the series, it gives you a lot more information if you have, but this could be watched if you just wanted to watch a bunch of tanks and a bunch of like girls in tanks shooting each other and having fun. Because yeah, the backstory and knowing each team is great, but you could watch. I watched this, I think, before the series, and this is what got me into the series.
Mhm.
But it also just noticed on the wiki for Girls and Panzer, they have posted military advisor commentary 1 and 2 on YouTube, so you can actually
Ooh.
watch the people who did the and they've also got staff commentary for the film.
Okay.
So
I
if you
wonder
want
if
to look into it and see any stuff, they talk about it all there as well.
I wonder if that's on the Blu-ray.
It might be. It's on the YouTube. So like
Okay.
unless it was like a special they did to go back to. So if you want to watch more about it, but I mean, this has got a huge community, even though it's an old, like you say, the Das Finals are still coming out today.
Yeah, I
And
think we're
people are
on
still
DOS
excited about it.
Final Part 4, and like 5 and 6 are in production.
Yep, 5 and
So,
6 still in production.
no. All
So I
right.
think
Very,
the commentary was released in 2020. So only what, 4 years ago?
yeah, that's not bad. So now that we got through that, it is now time to know what we are watching next month.
Ah, yes. Yes, this time
It's
I
on
remembered
you.
it was me this time.
It is you
Ah.
this time. It's not me panicking.
Hence why we got the only reason we got this film, let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, no, the dice allowed it.
Yes.
Oh.
So there was two I was looking at. We've got a isekai basically cooking show,
Mhm.
and we've got a kind of post-apocalyptic war girl ships.
Another
Like
one?
not yeah, well these are it's not based in this universe as in the Girls and Panzer. These are just warships.
What, like Girls Last Tour?
No, more like if Gundam met Evangelion met Razafon met
Oh
it's
God.
insane. It's a little bit what do you call it? A kind of what's that word they use again? Like harem but not like it's not like he's going for harem, it's more battleship. It's just people, it's anime. It's
So
what
instead
it is.
of calling it a harem, they call it a fleet.
Yeah.
God. What's the name of
But,
it?
of the Blue Steel. The first name I literally cannot say it. It's a Arpeggio, I think. It's
Arpeggio.
supposed to it's supposed to mean. I think it's broke. The actual name means broken chord or something in
Oh,
translation. But it's a really good show. It's got some amazing scenes in it, and if you like battleships, it's a great show. But the cooking one is great as well. So
you gonna
So
roll for it?
we're gonna roll for it, or are we gonna flip a
I
coin? What are
don't.
we doing?
I have a D6 here. So should we say 136 is cooking show?
So odds are cooking show, even is boat show, and I
Yeah.
just looked the
Even is boat show. I love
I just looked at the boat show and its thumbnail for Crunchyroll, and yeah, I can already tell where this is going.
yeah. Again, is on Crunchyroll though, both of them, which is
Okay.
a very rarity that we have that.
I know the cooking one was made by Mappa of all people, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it's
wild.
very good. We've seen it before, but it is very good. All right, so evens is cooking, odds is boats. You ready?
Hmm.
It's even. We are watching the cooking show.
Alrighty, what is the name of the cooking show?
Campfire cooking in another world.
Campfire cooking in another world.
It is a fun little show. I know Skylar's seen it before because we watched it together before when
Yeah.
it came out.
I've seen the stuff because like if you follow Mappa on YouTube, they show like how they do their animation. That's the only thing I've seen of it. I've not actually seen the because they did stuff where they were like showing what the actual food looked like that they were drawing, like during the cooking,
It's
like
so
somebody
good.
making the dish. Yeah,
Don't watch it
Oh.
hungry.
Yeah, this show will make you starving by the end of it. And what I know, it's great though because it's not like OP powered, like human. It's just he could cook. It's like
That's
it's
literally
so
it. He
You
makes
just-
some good friends doing that.
Hey, that's how you
It's
need to
like-
make friends.
in a world where dried monster meat is the main source of protein and food. Like he would be a god to them.
Yeah. That's the plot. Yeah.
All right, very cool. Well, would you like to tell everybody where they can find you in on the internet, and we'll see everybody in a month after that.
Sure. Yeah, you can find me at Skylar_Bun on Twitter if you want to follow me for cute stuff on the internet.
UK_Jacker on most things. Playing Guild Wars 2 lately. Come join the guild.
There you go. Again, find me everywhere at Slade Plays Games, except Instagram. That's Slade's Life. And then I guess on all the other podcast shows that I do here on Game
Yeah,
Club.
the
Yeah.
most. Which you scared me, by the way. Your latest podcast.
The announcement episode.
Yeah, I haven't been able to listen to them because work's been crazy lately, and I looked and went, wait, what? Wait, no, what?
I got mad.
what?
I started listening to it. You're just clickbaity. Clickbaity.
Clickbaity,
Oh, I got so mad.
So that was
Now I can't listen to it ever again because you've got what's his face on it.
we thought it'd be funny to do the whole clickbait title with the sad music. We thought that'd be really funny. So
Oh, yeah,
It's a
when that
YouTuber
sad
apology
music played,
video.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
except we don't diddle kids.
tricky
So
bastards. Yeah, you don't. Use the word "don't" there specifically. Don't capital letters. Like,
see, that's why we're podcasters and not YouTubers. Podcasters don't do that.
Yeah. Why is that such a thing? Ugh.
I don't know. It happens too often. All right.
Man.
So
Because
see everybody in a month's
Way
time.
too often.
And on that note, bye.
Yeah.
Way too often. Stop it. Stop. Everyone who does you, stop it.
Get some help.
Stop. Get some help. Therapy's free. We're sponsored by. Sorry.
No, we're not. We're not
It's
sponsored.
better help.
We need.
Hello, welcome to the post credits. Hi over there.
Hi.
Hi, Casey.
Hello, Slade.
Hello. I made you watch this movie with me.
Yes. Yes, you did.
Okay. So you thought it'd be fun, and I agreed, and we thought we'd do this as a little post credits thing. How'd you like it?
I liked it.
You did like it.
I actually did like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. And I have no idea about the story except what you tell me. Because you're over here fangirling the whole time. Like, ooh, look at that tank. Oh, look at that tank. And this tank does this. And this is correct. And I'm like, shut up, Slade.
You did tell me to shut up quite a few times.
I was like, would you please be quiet? I'm like, here having a migraine. I'm laying on your shoulder. I'm trying to watch this movie. I'm enjoying it. And all I hear is, oh, look at that. This is that. This is... And I'm like, shut up.
But you enjoyed it.
I did.
Okay,
Yes.
that's the important part.
Yes.
You enjoyed watching it.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I have any idea what's going on? No, not really.
Okay. But you had fun. That's the thing. So when we recorded this episode originally, I said that I think Girls and Panzer is a hard thing to like recommend to people because it's so bombastic and it's wild and it's so much going on.
Yeah.
But you were somebody. You don't know anything about tanks.
No.
Don't know anything about history because there are jokes that I was laughing at that you were just kind of like looking at the screen like I don't get it.
Yeah, no.
And you also took some notes.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Would you like to talk about the notes?
Sure.
Okay.
The first point I had was girl power.
Girl power?
Girl power.
All right.
It's very feminist show, movie, series.
Mm-hmm.
There's like hardly no men in it, and you're like, okay.
Well, yeah, it's cute anime girls in tanks, where this is a great combination.
I can see your point, I guess.
Okay.
But to me, the show or the movie was good. And
Okay.
I think to watch the movie, you really, to get all of it, like all the backstory, is you're definitely going to need to watch the first 12 episodes.
Okay.
So I told you I'm going to have to watch the first 12 episodes now.
There is a compilation movie, if you want to save some time, where you could just spend an hour and a half, and it'll run you through it really quickly.
Yeah.
Or you could watch all 12.
Watch all 12.
Okay.
I have attention issues. All 12 is what's going to have to happen.
What else do we have on the notebook?
Slade was fangirling.
Oh, are you here to out me on this?
Yes.
Okay.
As your fiance.
Uh-huh.
Yes. If anybody haven't heard yet, we are now engaged.
Mm-hmm.
But my wonderful fiance over there was fangirling the whole entire time. And I was like, you're going to have to be quiet. Don't worry, honey. I love you.
You are outing me on so many levels.
I love you.
Okay.
I'm sure you out me without me not listening to the episode sometimes. And I'm sure you mention me and you're like, out me. And I'm like, can't defend myself.
Right. So, and I never have, I don't think. Anyways.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What else do we have on the notepad?
I put fairly easy racial recognition. Honestly, it's not really racial, but it's
You're talking about the very racist stereotypes.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I think that's exactly what I
Racial
mean.
recognition. That's a way to phrase it.
You get to see the different countries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's considered. I don't know if that'd be considered race. That'd be considered ethnic.
Nationalities.
Let's be honest. Nationalities.
Nationalities.
But I feel like it definitely shows some of the quirks of each nation.
Yes. All right. What else do we have?
I think it's unrealistic when it comes to shooting in the towns and cities. It's like, why in the world would you go into a town and destroy it for some kind of sport?
Well, they do have places like they show in the movie where you're not allowed to fight. Mm-hmm. When we're watching the FT-35 being chased down by one of the, I can't remember the name of the American tank. Anyways, while it's being chased down, they're not allowed to fight.
Yeah, well, I thought that part was unrealistic. When the school ship departs, because their school gets sold off, I did catch a reference because it's a show I love. Mm-hmm. Attack on Titan.
Yeah, one of the girls does the Scouts salute.
Yeah, she started doing the Scout salute. I was like, Slade! I said, I think that's an Attack on Titan reference. And he's like, yeah, I think it is too. I mean, it's like, I was doing it with her. I was like, yeah, girl, I got you.
There's a couple other references in that show that you
would completely miss.
Yeah, because I don't know the shows.
Well, you don't know the shows and you don't know your history very well.
Well.
And you get me sitting next to you going, ooh, this, that, and the other.
Well, in school, when it came to history, I did it very well. But what I would do is I would memorize everything, and then I'd take the test, do well in tests, and then...
Just dump it?
Yes, I brain dumped all history. The only thing I remember mostly is math. That's what I do for a living, so there you go.
There you go. What else do we have on the lovely notepad?
The last thing is, where are the adults?
You saw them there sitting in the stands.
Yeah, but like in the school when they got kicked out of the school and they went to that temporary spot.
Yeah, it's fine. The school council people are in charge of it. Don't think too hard on that. They're in charge.
But still.
Yeah, and that's why they had the hall monitors around.
Exactly. But I was like, where's the teachers? Where's the adults?
No, they're too busy doing tankery. It's fine.
That's all I had.
That's all you had? Do you have any favorite moments from the movie?
The Japanese.
The Japanese team?
Yeah.
You fell in love with the Japanese team. You were rooting them on until they all got taken out.
I don't know if I was rooting them on, but I was like, would y'all please stop? I was like, not again. And you're just here, you're just laughing at me. But for a final note, I will say, watch the movie. If you watch all 12 episodes, it's a good series. You don't have to know any history to just enjoy it. And if you know history, that's a plus. If you don't, well, you still enjoy it. And that's all I got.
That's all you got for it?
That's all I got.
Okay, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did.
Should I make you start watching more things with me that I don't think you'll like? Because there's no way in a normal circumstance I would recommend this to you. Any way whatsoever. And I think, well, you heard me talk about it when I was watching it for the episode that came out a while back.
Yeah, I also rolled my eyes, but it was fine.
Yeah, you were rolling your eyes and you're like, this just sounds dumb and ridiculous. But now that you've seen it firsthand.
Well, the other thing I was going to ask you is, like, we were on our way to the store this morning, and you said something about, oh, I didn't think you were going to like it. And I
didn't think you were going to like it.
Or, like, you said, I didn't seem like I was liking it when I was watching it. I was like, what do you mean? And you're like, oh, that's for the podcast.
Yeah, because I didn't want you to lose that thought or anything like that, because that's podcast conversations. See, when you start podcasting, you have to save things for the podcast.
I don't save anything for anything.
No, you don't. So, yeah, I didn't think you would like this movie at all whatsoever.
It was quirky and funny.
Okay, so we do things by it's either you have to watch it or skip this.
I say watch it.
Watch it? Okay.
Watch it.
Do you want to watch the 12 episodes today? Because I would totally be down to watch the 12 episodes today.
Well, we can't do it today. We've got a lot of things to do.
Yes, but
yes.
You're down to watch 12 episodes?
Yes, I'm down.
Yes.
I mean, I already watched your favorite rom-com anime.
That's true. You did watch My Dress Up Darling.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's
Maybe
season
I'm just
2?
bad at describing shows to people, and I just need to tell you, hey, we're sitting down and watching this.
Slade, I love you, but yeah.
Okay.
And I did love Attack on Titan. That was my first, like, real hardcore anime, and I was like, now I have T-shirts, and there was
a lot of people who said I was very mean to make you watch that for your first anime.
Why?
Because it's so heartbreaking.
We
can't spoil it.
I think I only cried one time, and it was just a slight tear, and that was it. I'm not spoiling it.
Okay.
I won't spoil that for the viewer or the listeners. I wouldn't dare do that. But I only teared up one time. I'm not a crier, guys.
Back to our tanks. So Japanese team. Anything else stand out to you? Was there any points in the movie where you're like, this is kind of annoying, this sucks?
Not really.
No least favorite bits?
Not overly, no.
Okay.
No, just the only I found annoying was the Japanese, but that was also my favorite at the same time, just because they're stupid. They're acting stupid. The team was acting stupid. Not Japanese themselves are stupid, but the team that was portrayed in the show was acting a little crazy.
Right. So, well, I'm glad we got your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Glad we got that. Maybe we'll do this again. I don't know. It depends, but no, we're gonna let's find time to watch all 12 episodes because it's really good.
Well, thank you, Anime Corner, for having me for this post-credit interview.
You're welcome.
And I hope to see you later.
Well, you don't see anybody. It's a podcast.
Well,
you hope they hear you later.
Whatever. Bye, guys.